James Harks, the chief of Metal Gear development, is held somewhere in here. Find him. Alright. Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel, which I've only now realized is Metal Gear Solid GB, as in Game Boy. That's actually pretty sneaky. Mind you, Resident Evil Deadly Silence on the DS did a similar thing. I'm very late noticing that. Either way, in the last part, we did stuff that I can't quite recall because it's been about a week since I recorded that, but now we're going to continue on to hopefully find James Harks. And this is one of my least favorite, at the same time, favorite missions in the game, because it mostly revolves around the conveyor belts, which you can only board at this point with the boxes. The way the conveyor belts work is that whenever you get to one of those sorting machines, you are sorted, your direction... The direction you go in is dependent on what box you're using. Since I'm using the yellow box, I'll go in all the yellow directions. Don't worry. First off, there is a yellow box in this mission, I believe, if you didn't get one before. I don't get it, obviously, because I already have one. And you cannot have a red or blue box by this point. You have to go the yellow route first. I just bumped my mic. Sorry about that. Also, this song really gets annoying after a while. I'll say that right now. Because it's really short and repetitive. Sounds like Dirge Cerberus, though I actually really like Dirge Cerberus. Story's stupid and the gameplay's really repetitive, but I don't care, I find it fun. Plus, I really love that soundtrack. And whenever you come to one of those little things I just touched right there at the end of the conveyor belts, those are lifts. But not the usual elevators that we're used to. These ones will only activate first off if you are a box, and if you come off of a... what's it called? Conveyor belt. They're more or less what block you from going everywhere you can at first. However, once you learn where you have to go, this is actually a pretty short mission. Well, not short, but it's... there have been longer missions. There we go. And there will be longer missions, if I recall. Especially one in Part 6, if I recorded things correctly. Also, a lot of stun grenades around here. What these do is that when you throw them, all enemies on screen are knocked out temporarily. However, the moment you use it, I will warn you that it's almost always going to trigger an alert phase, so be careful about that. And now we're actually back in another elevator room, because the only reason I went over there is so I can first off get the box I believe I grabbed, and get those stun grenades, because now I actually want to head back to the second floor and go to those lifts again. This should be the only time I show you the backtrack up because we've never been to that room before, though. Hopefully. Unless I'm forgetting something. I don't believe I am. Nah, I shouldn't be. Yeah, I should be fine. Either way, we got the red box if you were paying attention, so... First off, it doesn't allow us to rent DVDs for pretty cheap. But it does allow us to go into the red directionals of the conveyor belts. Just follow what I do, but I will give you a warning that some of these boxes, these box machines will only give you a very short time to switch before, because there's... Let me restart that sentence, because that was very poorly structured. There are opportunities like this, actually, where you have very little time to switch before the next machine, so make sure you're on top of that button. But yeah, we want to go, I think, yellow, 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 red, yellow, red? No, just yellow, 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 red. That takes us into here. And get our gas mask out, because the next floor is actually covered in gas. However, we do get something pretty important down here. Aside from a guard walking around. Now, why doesn't the guard have a oxygen bar? Either way, we get ID card level 3. Meaning we can now open more doors. Yay! That actually would be a really nice attention to detail, though, if they gave the guards their own little oxygen bar. But I doubt they did that. You do really want to watch out for the cameras in this area, because first off, cameras suck in this game because they're I'm not exactly sure what their view cones are. I know they can see directly in front of them, obviously, but sometimes I feel like they can look directly below them and to the sides of that. Either way, we were actually back at the either first floor or basement floor 1 elevator, so I cut back to the machine because, well, we had to come back here anyway. By that point, you should know where to go. In fact, I'm going to be cutting back to that room a couple more times if I recall correctly. I'm actually not sure if walking on the conveyor belt speeds you up, but I swear it does, so that's why I do it. But if it doesn't, oh well. And note, like, I think I mentioned, I forget if I mentioned this already, but you cannot walk on the conveyor belt, so don't even try to. Which is kind of stupid from a gameplay, from a logic perspective, because you think you'd be perfectly able to walk on them, but I guess not. Got some rations in here. And up here, as soon as that guy gets out of my way, I think those are actually just stun grenades. Yep. One thing I will say about Ghost Babel is that it does give you a lot more ammo than you actually need, which I can be grateful for, though at some points the boss fights can really suck up your ammo, but yeah. And there we get cardboard box B, which is blue. And that is the final cardboard box we can get in this mission. So let's head down here, which brings us down to a new place we have not been before, only yes, we kind of have, because I think we're back on the basement floor, or are we on the first floor? I forget. A lot of these places start to look familiar after a while, but then again, it's like you're in a giant factory, which is kind of supposed to look samey. And yeah, there's really not much more to say about this mission, at this point at least, because I think I'm going to be cutting back to the room shortly. Yeah, I am, because we're actually back in that room we were in earlier with the camera and the guard. That one. So I should be jump cutting right around now. So let's see, what is there in recent news I can talk about that's not going to be recent at all for you guys? Let's see. The Final Fantasy 15 release date has been announced. And that Platinum demo came out, and that was surprisingly decent. Although it was more of a tech demo than anything, but damn is Leviathan big in that game. Hopefully it's good, because it'll probably be out by the time this gets uploaded. Let's see, what else? That's gonna horribly date this recording. Meet Homo came out for iOS and Android, which I might be shamelessly addicted to, because there's something really charming but really stupid about hearing me's speak. I don't know what it is exactly. Either way, in this cardboard box maze, we want to head west for now. You could head back to the... You could actually just head directly east. But I want to head this way first, because I think there's an item I wanted to grab. Also, keep in mind that conveyor belt for later. Not as... by later, I mean more so like next part. Although I don't cut there, I actually do walk there, but oh well. Yeah, I could have actually headed straight east because you could have gotten here earlier. But we don't want to go into there yet, because I want to head onto this conveyor belt. That door there, I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be cutting back to that one later in this part, so keep that in mind. Or at least how we got there. Really, though, this is one of the... This could actually potentially be one of the longer missions in the game for you, because you don't know where you're supposed to go, and the cardboard box thing takes forever. Like I think I stated before, well, first off, I've got some thermal goggles in here. These allow you to see thermal imaging in dark rooms, or in any room, really. But yeah, like I mentioned before, Ghost Babel is actually one of the more puzzle-heavy Metal Gears. And this is one of the levels that makes that especially clear. And in here we got a sleeping guard, so crawl on the metal grating as to not wake him up. There's some R5 ammo, I think there is there, yep. But we want to head west. No, I have to say though, even when I was crawling, I think I would have been able to make noise on a metal grate, because metal grates are very clinky. Either way, now we're back at that door, so let's try out those thermal imaging goggles. There they are. And now we can see not only thermal imaging for enemies and such, but we can also see lasers. This will make rooms like this much easier from here on out. Though I do have to question, I forget if I brought this up in the other Metal Gears, but why does the lasers switch on and off in a pattern that makes intruders makes sneaking past very simple for intruders? That's a major design flaw there, Dr. Robotnik. Really though, once you're at this point, this mission's actually really simple because we're almost at the goal. There's only one backtrack left in the mission if I recall, so it's pretty simple from here on out. Just be careful that camera doesn't actually notice you, which it did in one of my other recording sessions of this mission. Thankfully that one failed due to numerous reasons, including myself forgetting to hit the record button. Don't you hate it when that happens? Yeah, so do I. Oh, and screw that guard over there on the right. You'll see why in a few moments. Oh, and at this point you can take out the thermal imaging goggles. There's no point to keep them on. Alright, let's head north into this room. And I really should have looked at my radar there. Thankfully, the door here to the north is one of those ones that cancels alert phases. Hey! You don't look like one of those goons. Get me out of here! Or do you want me to yell for the guard? You a hostage? Oh, there goes my snake voice again. Yeah, they're like complete losers. At first I got to do whatever I wanted. Then once Metal Gear neared completion, I got thrown into this dump. You're James Harks. You can call me Jimmy. If you're gonna get me out of here, at least. They let a kid lead the Metal Gear development. Oh yeah? I may be half your age, but I'm twice as smart as you, buddy. I'm not that old. Really? You look it, man. Who are you, anyway? Doesn't matter. I'm the guy sent to get you and destroy Metal Gear. And that's all you need to know. Whatever, Lone Ranger. You with the U.S. military? I'm not with any military. What then? Just a misfits. What the hell kind of answer is that? Who cares? As long as you get me out. Come on, I'm sick of this place. There's no way past these bars. Any other way into this room? No, but... But what? I tapped on the walls and the east one sounds different. It may be thinner than the other ones. The east wall, huh? Okay, I'll get a hold of some explosives and try blowing through it. Yeah, meet Jimmy. No one really likes Jimmy, because he's kind of a dick. But we have to rescue him, so hey. Why is it that the characters you have to rescue are like 85% of the time complete and total dicks? I say 85% of the time because in some games they have been genuinely nice people. Or they're just dicks in disguise as genuinely nice people. I immediately think of Brave Fencer Musashi when I say that. Anyway, the main reason we came in here is for that C4. But at this point, once I exit this door, I'm actually going to cut back to the cardboard box maze. Because now I want to head back to the room where we got the thermal goggles, actually. Because, I don't know how you're supposed to figure this out, but that's directly east of the guy, of Jimmy. Oop. That was a thing falling on my floor. At this point, though, the mission's more or less over. Go over here, and the way you use C4 is a bit weird. You place it with B, but you activate it with A. Which is odd. I think this is the only weapon that uses A as a detonate button. Oh, well. That took a while. That took like 2 minutes. Are you really as great as you say you are? Well, screw you too, kid. Okay, get me out of this hole. Not so fast. First, tell me about Metal Gear. I thought you were gonna help me. Talk first. Well, that's just great. I can always leave you here. Are you going to give me answers? All right. Ask away, will ya? Where is Metal Gear, first of all? In the maintenance base, to the north of the first floor northwest exit of this barrack. Okay, first floor northwest exit of this barrack. Then north. Metal Gear's operational. The assembly's done, that's why I got locked up. They're probably adjusting the power net now. It's really nuclear capable? Yep, the South American trip was supposed to be for practical exercises. Brought real nuclear warheads along. That's crazy. How could you be permitted to take a nuke out of the country? Parker, the Army Chief of Staff, is a big fan of the project. The Army's top brass. Yeah, so we got all the funding we wanted and the project moved pretty quickly. Why so much effort? What were they planning to do with Metal Gear? Project Babel. What is it? It's some project of Parker's. That's what Metal Gear's supposed to be for. What is it? I don't know the details. They wouldn't tell me. Not like I care, I just want to be where I can make the best use of my talents. You make weapons of war that kill millions of people. Look what's happening right now. That has to do with the people who use them, not with me, not with Metal Gear itself. I don't care what anyone says, Metal Gear is a masterpiece, the product of every technical genius I possess. Nobody can build anything so... What is it? Power failure. This could be bad. Why? They're going to go nuclear with Metal Gear. What? Metal Gear can launch warheads with a railgun. But the railgun has an enormous power consumption, so they're charging the thing up with all the power they can get. Yeah. How long till the full charge? About 30 minutes. 30 minutes to do a nuclear strike? Chris, come in. Snake, the power plant just went into overdrive. What the hell? No time to talk. I found the Metal Gear researcher. I'd like you to take over his protection. Okay, but what about you, Snake? I'm going after Metal Gear. Metal Gear? What's going on? There's no time. I'm counting on you. Metal Gear's in the maintenance base to the northwest of this barrack, right? Yeah, but... Wait a sec, what about me? You stay here. Hey, weren't you supposed to get me out? Your new Delta Force bodyguard will be along shortly. You'll like her. What am I supposed to do alone until then? What are you, a kid? Okay. Man, you really need to work on your people skills. And with that cutscene, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 5, I believe, we'll be hopefully stopping Metal Gear from going nuclear. See you guys then.